found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
This one's wife. PR Pariah. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. As you know, this one's wife has decided that she is going to hire PR representation in the United Kingdom to rehabilitate her image. That she sees that the popularity problem that she has in this sceptred isle can readily be overcome with some judicious PR. It has to be said that this is certainly one of those pretty tough gigs which you put up there with convincing the Spanish speakers of the world to buy a Nokia Lumia, to promoting a kindergarten run by the Moors murderers, convincing people that Chernobyl is a prime holiday destination, maybe launching a campaign for Joseph Fritzl to undertake basement renovations, and that Hitler really was misunderstood and was actually a pioneer of race relations. Yes, tough PR gigs indeed, and this one's wife is clearly going to be up with those that I've just mentioned in terms of difficulty. When it comes to the issue of PR, and this latest move by this one's wife, I thought that it would be entirely appropriate for me to gain the input of my PR expert, who I liaise with from time to time to achieve a view from her and input from that particular industry with regard to the behaviour of this one's wife. My PR expert explained quite bluntly and simply that none of the respected publicists in the United Kingdom will take her on. My PR expert said flatly, no way would she take this one's wife on. Too difficult a client in terms of not listening, not taking advice. Too difficult a brief with regard to the fact that she's vastly unpopular. And moreover, there's one's own reputation to think about. We like to choose winners. As I regularly state, every battle is won before it's ever fought. You want to maximise the odds for yourself, and therefore you want to take on people that have good prospects, that have potential. You look at this one's wife and you think to yourself, okay, so she left the United Kingdom after causing a spat with the family there, goes to the United States, tries several times to reinvent herself, fails miserably, ends up being ridiculed time and time again whilst throwing pelters at her family, doesn't bother with her father or half-siblings, and now wants to come back to a country that she's roundly trashed and act as if nothing has ever happened. I think I would be a bit of a mug if I took that on. This was the view that was summed up by my PR expert, who simply said she wouldn't take the work on, and none of the respected publicists in the United Kingdom would do either. Thus, that creates a problem for this one's wife, in that she starts to gather the reputation of being an untouchable. Not that she's invulnerable, but rather that you wouldn't want to go anywhere near her because it's too difficult to brief and it's going to tarnish your own reputation. My PR expert pointed out that it's clear that this one's wife does not listen to the advice given to her by professional experts in the PR industry, but moreover, she most likely lies to them as well when presenting what's known as her image status quo at the onset of the professional relationship. In effect, her narcissism causes her to tell these porky pies at the outset of the relationship in a bid to make her seem more palatable, more presentable, to downplay the risk, that she would hide crucial facts, that she's not clear about what the expected results are, that she will promise more input than she's able to give. It's a little bit like somebody going to see a lawyer about a case and not providing all of the facts to that lawyer. So they paint a picture which makes it seem like their case is far stronger than it actually is. And that individual has actually been to 2 other law firms and was more truthful about what was going on. And they turned around and said, you're not going to win, and therefore wouldn't take the case, as this individual perhaps was looking to do it on a no-win, no-fee basis. Or going along to a doctor and misrepresenting the symptoms so that you're given a more optimistic outlook with regard to what's going on. It's quite clear that this one's wife would do that in order to make her seem like a better prospect. And all that happens, of course, is that she then sells a particular image to the agency, promising that she'll give so much input, downplaying certain aspects which are viewed as problematic. And then later on, the agency finds out, actually, this is a huge problem. The fact is, as my PR expert points out, if you lie to your lawyer, how can they be expected to properly represent and protect you? Naturally, she's going to do all of this because her lies are her truth. The fact is, my PR expert doesn't see that she will find anybody of reputation, ability, or excellence to take her on, but she probably will find somebody because there's going to be some wannabe PR guru at a lower echelon who's willing to give it a go. My expert said she already pitters this person for doing so because this one's wife's toxicity is such that it will pollute the person and company that she hires, making it impossible to operate in the shadows. It's already seen with the mere pitch to PR people in the United Kingdom already being leaked and becoming a new sensation. The problem is that the publicists will find themselves being dragged into the limelight. For instance, as I sit here now and say to you, okay, who represents Tom Hiddleston? Can you tell me? Can you tell me who represents Brad Pitt? Who represents Helen Mirren? Who represents Kevin Costner? You might be able to answer in relation to some of those. Can you tell me who the agent is for Cristiano Ronaldo? Can you tell me who Lionel Messi's representation is in Europe and in the United States? Who is it that gives PR advice to the British government? Do you know? There'll be many famous individuals and institutions that are represented by PR outfits, but you won't be able to tell me who they are. But with this one's wife, you knew that she had representation from Sunshine Sachs. You know that she utilises Backgrid for her PAP photos. You know that she utilised WME as a talent agency. And those agencies have found themselves getting dragged into the stories and not necessarily in a favourable light because of their association with this one's wife. And it's going to be the same for whoever takes this gig. They're going to be dragged into the limelight. They're going to be ridiculed by the media. And ultimately, it completely flies in the face of what PR work is. There's also then the wider problem for this PR individual. What about their other clients? Would these other clients be pleased that their agency is representing one of the most disliked people in the country? It's a little bit like, as I say, suddenly decided that we're going to take Hitler or the Moors murderers or Joseph Fritzl on as a client. Your other clients to say, I don't want to be at an agency that represents those people. The business is going to suffer. And those other people will go to alternative agencies where it's less controversial. My expert was aware of the article in the Daily Mail and the part which talked about how Americans expect their PR to yell at people, which is certainly not the case in Europe. She identified that this is wholly what this one's wife expects from her servants. But working with a publicist is not a master and servant situation. It's actually a partnership where it's expected that the client puts in work and gains respect in order to achieve the right results. The fact that she's shopping for PR in the UK demonstrates the high level of her delusion. She simply doesn't get it. She doesn't realise why people view her the way that she does and the extent of why there is that dislike of her. She doesn't understand what PR is about. PR isn't some magicians turning public hatred and dislike into public love overnight. It takes years to build a reputation, and it can take just a few hours or days for it to be destroyed. This one's wife expects a magic wand to be waved so that her terrible image in the United Kingdom suddenly becomes one whereby she's loved And she believes that all that needs to be done is for a PR agency to get involved and sort that out for her. It isn't going to work. It isn't going to happen. And then, of course, all she'll do is dispense with them and perhaps then go and try another agency. We know she's never going to change her behaviour. And she's beyond redemption. She can try as she likes, but it's the old put a lipstick on a pig scenario. It's still a pig. And as my PR expert has pointed out, she simply is beyond redemption at this point, and this is just going to be a complete PR disaster. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.